Have you noticed how XRP exchange reserves on Binance dropped sharply from nearly 10 billion down to around 3.9 billion? This kind of move naturally raises serious questions. Is XRP quietly preparing for a major supply squeeze? Could this setup push the price toward levels like $2.50 or even $5 in the future? And on top of that, how significant is the reported $153 million involvement from a major institutional player like Goldman Sachs for the overall XRP ecosystem? If you currently hold XRP or are even considering entering the market, then what we are about to discuss is extremely important for your understanding. This is not about hype or speculation alone. We're going to walk through price behavior, technical indicators, on-chain signals, and broader market developments that many retail traders often overlook. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiteboard Crypto Update. In today's video, we will talk about XRP. So be sure to stay focused, as you surely don't want to miss out on this. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Let's begin with the current price structure. Right now, XRP is trading close to the $1.41 level. Over the past 24 hours, price movement has stayed within a relatively tight range, with lows near $1.39 and highs around $1.42. At first glance, this might appear like slow or directionless movement. However, experienced traders recognize this as a consolidation phase where price builds pressure before making a stronger move. It's like a compressed spring waiting to release. A key level to monitor is $1.39, which is acting as an important support zone. As long as price remains above this level, the broader structure stays stable. If this level breaks, then downside levels such as $1.10 or even 82 could come into focus. On the upside, resistance near 42 is the first barrier. A strong move above this, especially with volume, could open the path toward $1.46 and later toward the more significant resistance near $1.66. Now let's examine the indicators because they provide deeper insight into market behavior. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is currently around 47. This places it in neutral territory, meaning the asset is neither overbought nor oversold. Historically, when RSI stays in this middle zone during consolidation, it often leads to a strong breakout once momentum returns. At the same time, short-term exponential moving averages are still showing some pressure, but simple moving averages like the 20 and 30 are leaning toward a buy signal. This kind of mixed signal often appears in early trend transition phases. Another interesting point is the stochastic RSI, which is sitting close to oversold levels. Historically, when XRP reaches this zone, it often experiences a bounce or even a trend reversal. This adds another layer to the possibility that the market may be preparing for a stronger move. Beyond technical analysis, fundamental developments are also playing a major role. Reports indicate that a large institutional entity has exposure worth over $150 million in XRP-related investment products. Moves like this are typically long-term in nature and reflect confidence in the broader utility of the network rather than short-term speculation. At the same time, regulatory discussions are evolving. There have been signals suggesting that XRP's value may be increasingly recognized as tied to its decentralized network rather than a single organization. This kind of shift in perspective can have long-term implications for how the asset is treated in financial markets. There is also an important timeline approaching related to regulatory clarity and ETF-related developments. Markets often react strongly to such events, and the current sideways movement may partly reflect uncertainty as participants wait for clearer direction. Once that clarity arrives, volatility could increase significantly. Now let's focus on on-chain activity, which gives us insight into what is happening behind the scenes. XRP's burn rate has increased sharply in recent activity. Since each transaction burns a small amount of XRP, higher burn rates suggest increased network usage. This often points towards stronger underlying activity, possibly involving larger players. Combine this with the fact that exchange reserves have dropped significantly, and the picture becomes more interesting. When large amounts of XRP move off exchanges into private storage, it reduces the available supply for trading. If demand remains steady or increases, this can create what is known as a supply imbalance. In simple terms, fewer coins available with steady demand can push prices higher over time. So what approach should be considered in this type of market? Short-term traders often focus on key support and resistance levels, especially around $39s for support and higher targets near 48 and 155. For longer-term participants, this phase may represent accumulation within a broader trend. It is also worth remembering that XRP has seen strong growth in the past, including significant gains during previous cycles. What we may be seeing now could simply be a consolidation phase within a larger trend. If major resistance levels are eventually broken, higher price zones could become more realistic over time. That said, it is very important to understand that cryptocurrency markets are highly volatile and unpredictable. Prices can move quickly in either direction. Always do your own research and carefully evaluate your decisions. This content is intended for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. What are your thoughts on XRP? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for watching.